Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another chapter of the sci-fi series I'm writing, Nunatayet, Book 1, The Five Palms of Why. This is Chapter 9, Reckoning. Now a little preview. In the last chapter, we ended with the ecom repair team being taken surprise by soul eaters from an area called the Stillness. And some new things we're going to be bringing up in this chapter. I think I've reviewed about the children of Nunatayet about the age of 7 going for their destiny encounter. They go to a valley and they match up with a little orb, and they have a face-to-face meeting with either Y or one of his light beings, and the spirit gift within them is activated, usually about the age of 7. It can be later in life, or they can change occupations later in life also. So they come, and when they go through this process, their hair turns white and remains white until they encounter their soulmate, usually sometimes in their mid to late 20s. And then as strands of their hair begin to change to a natural color as they spend time around their soulmate. So when they encounter their soulmate, it has to do, they have to come in proximity of their actual bioenergy field that's around each body. And it usually extends out from the body about 3 feet. So they'll just be walking along and boom, their energy fields touch. And they instantly recognize one another as being their soulmate. It doesn't mean usually they're still strangers, so courtship has to take place. Sometimes there's instant attraction, sometimes no attraction, and so they have to really spend time in courtship. And sometimes they just can't stand one another. That's when it really become funny around to the people around them, because everyone knows eventually these two people are going to fall in love. Okay, so some new characters we're going to come across in this chapter will be the truthers and the mathers, who have off-world experience. So a truther is someone who can just look at you and see on you whether you're telling the truth, whether you're lying and you know you're lying, or whether you're speaking and you're lying but you believe you're telling the truth. That's because you've been deceived. So a truther can do that. When for instance, a small town mayor, wants to do this or that and is saying things, and the citizens say, bring out the truther. Well, if the small town mayor has any concept of reality, he immediately backtracks and changes things. He doesn't want to be shown up and lose his political career. Truther. Okay, so a truther who has off-world experience can also apply that ability to other species. A mather. All children on Nunatayet are able to calculate with their fingers and in their mind a probability, permutations, if things change or that changes, and then wait for an answer to come to them, either from their own mind or why or another source. Okay, but they wait. Now, a mather who has a spirit calling for this, yeah, they can do math, but they're also calculating variables of interdimensional time and space, past, present, and future. And if they have off-world experience, they also can add in the time-space differences and permutations for other species. So, mather and truther. Okay. So now, the stillness trees extended their branches, slithering across the ground to the unconscious females to siphon their biomagnetic energy from their bodies and kill them. Patmos and Captain Harbeck landed. Captain Harbeck was in her DNA-linked ship, and Patmos was in a glider. And they sat down, and then they both moved to begin extracting the females away from the trees' ability to tap into their energy. And as soon as they came within about 3 feet of one another, floods of love enfolded around both of them on many levels: ancestral, family, tribal, erotic, and other. And boom, they both recognized, this is my soulmate. But nevertheless, they had to concentrate on the activity they were in, and that was to rescue the females. So then they extracted beamers from their utility belts. Beamers are devices that can envelop an object and move it. And so they put that energy out, envelop the female bodies so they could move them away from the trees. And they were able to move the female bodies out of the energy area generated by the branches, which was outlined in a sickly green smear of light. This extended from the stillness about 30 feet or 9 meters. Patmos and Captain Harbeck moved the females 60 feet or 18 meters from the stillness. Just then, a tri-spacecraft landed. It was powered by high-pressure mercury and nuke energy to generate a plasma-driven anti-grav craft. The tribal shadows of Patmos's tribe, the Mioba, raced out, armed and suited for battle. The Mioba shadows came to rescue the 3 male cousins of Patmos who were taken on their way to a wedding. They were led by the great leader, Nunatayet Anichi, legendary leader of all tribal shadow groups on Nunatayet. He and his group were in war mode: dress, weapons, craft, and mostly, they were in their war attitude. All Nunatayet children were raised to answer all questions honestly when they were put forth by the shadows. The shadows were employed by all tribes to locate missing ones. Their mission was always a tribal issue, a blood issue. The great leader Anichi addressed Patmos as the tribal representative and asked, "Tell me about the attack." Then Patmos and Captain Harbeck were identifying the missing males and unconscious females. They had already administered the females a stimulant to wake them up. The males who were taken, Military Commander Jason Roched, Sergeant in Weapons Bud McAllister, another sergeant in Weapons Jesse Yanni, an ECOM representative Jack Mulberry, ECOM Mike Talanek, and Tall Eagle Xavier, and Shepherd Mark Tomes. The females who had been knocked unconscious were military captain Natalie Ripon, who was an expert in alternate species and special forces. Weapons Sergeant Carlisle Jones, who was often called Carly. Comm Sergeant Betty Nakobe. PPK Jasmine Cantori. Ecom Josie Mulberry and Elaine Bogus. Commander Jason Rochet had been able to mind meld with his ship and send a message to Nunatayet's planetary military, or NPM. This is while they were being attacked by the Soul Eaters, who were attacking from inside the stillness outside to the group that was preparing to go into the stillness. And they took all of the males. That was the primary objective of the Soul Eaters. They want male souls. General Anatasi Nakobe, a G of the military comm sergeant Betty Nakobe, who was part of this group at the stillness, stated, "It's a diversion. This looks like war to me. The Soul Eaters have never been in this sector of space. But contact the Five Eyes Division and info this Anisha Queen of the Black Planet what she has to say." And now these attacks, first on the Mioba tribe, 3 males, second on the Ecom Repair Group, 7 males. General Nakobe ordered a full war mode status be brought to bear. General Nakobe stated, "Where's that message from Commander Jason Rochet?" The general's aide read it out loud. "Attack by Soul Eaters, Black Planet, Queen Anisha. Look for husband. Seaman. States 75,000 years ago he was kidnapped by the science department of the Five Eyes Division. Kidnapped 3 males in the Miobe tribe 2 days ago. And now they're going for 7 males in this group. The looks like war, interplanetary, bring attack team, plus truther, plus mather." General Nakobe mounted an interforce group, air, special forces, off-world expertise, truther, mather, and a size sufficient to rebuff off-world planetary attack. Stillness comms are still down. So they also needed a planetary comm war group. Contact Nunatayet Med advice set up for war event. Contact Nunatayet Media and the public relations for the military to make a war announcement. From the first words spoken by General Nakobe, the Nunatayet planetary war comms were set in motion by Nunatayet's AI. So General Nakobe, the Nunatayet War Council were reviewing the video of the attack in the war room. They could see 7 shafts of murky energy flowing out of the stillness forest. The shafts were preceded by a shock wave that rendered all of the human females, all of the humans unconscious. The 7 male bodies were surrounded by the murky shafts of energy, lifted and moved into the stillness. To be continued. I love you, and I'll see you soon.